what's going on, guys? So I'm sure you can tell by the title and thumbnail, I bought a truck, even though this is me before I've bought the truck. I actually just got the money out. That's why I'm starting it here. It's hilarious how entitled the bank is. They're using your money, right? Whenever you want to take out some money, they're like, oh, well, what's up with that? They want to ask you, like, what you doing? Like, they try to be friendly about it. What you getting this money for? A whole lot of none of your business is what I'm getting it for. She's like, oh, can you take a cashier's? No, I don't want a cashier's check. I want cash money. Give me, like, I wasn't rude about it, but I was like, no, I need money. She was like, oh, it's got to be cash. I drool over every good-looking red truck that I see. I know red's a hit or miss. A lot of people don't like red, a lot of people do. Hopefully the truck is in as good of condition as it appears in the pictures and from what he says, because y'all know how that goes. Facebook Marketplace, they'll say, oh yeah, it's perfect, no leaks, no paint scratches, no clear coat peeling, nothing. You get there and it's a pile of junk. So hopefully not the case here. He seems really nice and talkative, and we've got a place set up, the time set up. I'll catch up with y'all tomorrow, where I'm sure it will be me and Lauren going to check it out. I'm excited. I hope y'all are too. Who's honking?
Chase.
What?
This was not recording that whole time.
You just started it? Oh my gosh. Some of that was actually funny too.
It was!
It's actually been a couple days since this whole ordeal, so I figured I'm not going to make a video on it, but you know what? Screw it. We'll throw in what I did earlier, and then I'm going to tell y'all my story on why I did not buy this truck and why you got to be extra careful when buying a truck from an individual or a dealership. I say dealership because this guy claimed when I was there, he was talking to Lauren, that he didn't know anything about trucks. He bought it a little while ago, and he thought he just bought them and drove them, right? That's a good excuse to use if your truck is not in the description that you say it is when you're trying to say it. Like, oh, you can't be mad at me, I don't know anything about it, right? It's a good excuse. If it's true, then, you know, fair play, whatever. I had given up looking for cat eyes because people are wanting too much money for them. I've looked at like 5 of them at this point. They've all been garbage. For one, the truck was listed for $13,000. He's asking $13,000 for it. It's got to be nice, right? So I message him. He's got a couple pictures, very short description, which is never good. But it said DM him for info and pictures. So I DM'd him. He sent me some more pictures. The truck looks really good, but pictures can be very deceitful, right? So you can never tell until you get there in person or you have an honest person talking to you, right? So I asked him after I got the pictures, I was like, because it's very common for red trucks to have clear coat failure. So I said, is there any big dents, clear coat failure, or any other issues? And he messaged me back. He's like, no, sir, only cosmetic issue is a dent. So then I asked him, you know, verifying that it's a 5.3 and a clean title. And he said, yes, it's both. So I'm like, great, this is looking good. I mean, he said the only issue with the truck is it's got a dent in the tailgate, which, once again, is my bad. You have to ask these people 5,000 questions until they quit replying to you because they're annoyed. I within like 2 seconds of pulling up next to the truck, I'm like, well, this is not in as good a condition as I was expecting. Immediately noticed that there's parts of the truck that are oversprayed, so that's a dead giveaway. Hello, the truck's been repainted. So obviously I'd noticed immediately the roof and the hood had been repainted. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't good by any standards. So I keep looking around the truck, walk to the driver's side, and it's one of those cases where these little dealerships, they paint them in the back, or maybe they go and get a Mako paint job or something, which they don't do any prep or anything like that. So they don't take any of the door moldings off. This truck had a pinstripe on it, and they had obviously taped the pinstripe. So you got paint, pinstripe, more door with paint. They taped this, so then you rub your finger on it, and there's an actual line you can feel where they taped it off. So if you ever demolded that truck, it's going to look horrible because it's going to have all the original paint under it, and it's going to have a thickness difference where the new paint is. And it's obviously, you know, garbage paint. It's got junk in it. You can see bubbles and everything. Immediately then I'm like, well, this is nowhere near worth what you're asking for it. But I don't want to, well, I say I don't want to insult you. I didn't want to like, okay, this thing's crap, let me leave. I wanted to go ahead and investigate it, whatever. You know, I'm at the point where if it's just a paint job that the truck needs, I could just handle that, right? So the engine bay was extremely clean in the pictures. So I popped the hood, look at it, super clean. I mean, like, almost freaky clean. Like, what's going on here, right? He also told me he was late getting there because he was doing an oil change for me. So he hands me the keys, I crank it up. Y'all ain't gonna believe this. Immediate check engine light. Immediately the RPMs are going from like 300 to 800, just, you know, it's barely even staying running. So I'm like, you know anything about the check engine light? And he was like, no, I was like that when I bought it. What? That's something you tell somebody, dude. And so he was like, oh, you can go drive it if you want. Well, I'm not gonna go drive this piece of junk. I guess from now on I am, and I'm gonna film the trucks and be like, here, this is the pile of junk that you probably will see on Facebook that you shouldn't go buy. I'm not gonna out people like that. I was hoping to get him down to around 10. At this point, that's way too much money for this truck in the condition that it's in. So 100% was not buying the truck. But I'm looking around on the inside. I was really attracted to the nice tan leather seats inside until I sat on one, and the cushions or the front two seat leather had been replaced, but not properly, and they were loose and floppy and just, once again, only good in pictures. I hit the AC, smoking hot air coming out of it. I look over underneath the dash, or I don't even look under the dash. I look in the passenger floorboard, and there's wires hanging down where something has been rewired. It's insane. So, you know, I crawled under the truck too and looked. It's, of course, got a rear main seal leak, which is not the end of the world. Pretty much all cat eyes on the road right now probably have a rear main seal unless it's been fixed. Front axle is leaking, but not the biggest deal, just a boot. Yeah, but I mean, absolute pile of junk. Like I said, I mean, for the money, pile of junk, right? For you know, $3,000-$5,000. Yeah, I'll buy that and I'll fix it up and I'll enjoy the crap out of it. But for 10 grand, pile of junk. So I get out and I'm like, yeah, man, there's just too much wrong with this for me to give you anywhere near close to what you're asking for. It was pretty much immediately said, okay, you know, whatever, that's fine. I don't think he wanted me to describe all the problems in front of his fiance to him, which I might be totally wrong on this guy. And he might have just been clueless, totally innocent, nothing. It just seems crazy that you would get in that truck with it running and looking like that and still buy it. If you tell me, man, you know, in your description, paint has been repainted, paint's not great, check engine light not running great, you know, it has its flaws, this, that, and the other, you're descriptive of the issues, then sure, there's nothing wrong with that, even if you have it overpriced. But to act like it's perfectly fine only for someone to get there and it's a pile of junk, like, that's just wrong. I don't understand. Also missed out on an opportunity on a 4-door Larry. It was a King Ranch, green. It was freaking sick. It was 2-wheel drive though. I was gonna go buy it because it was fairly cheap and it was really good condition, but full-time job, Knox was in school, I couldn't go look, and the guy sold it when he said he was gonna let me come look at it tomorrow. But, you know, all's fair, I guess. Anyways, yeah, that's my rant on why I did not buy a cat eye and why I'm pretty much giving up completely on even looking at one, and it's insanity. So yeah, until the whole vehicle thing is fixed, I'm writing off cat eyes completely. That is my experience with another cat eye on Facebook. So yeah, I'm writing them off. I got other things I want anyways more than a cat eye at this point. So that's the story. Hope y'all enjoyed. If you're going to buy something, look the freaking thing over. Good gosh, man. I'll see y'all in the next one.